I'm just like really tired. Hey guys, and welcome to an episode of Rasta Medicine with your host Mark. So, guys, I don't know if you know what driver's hands are, but it's basically a whole bunch of sun damage around your knuckles area that's predictable because you're getting all that sun when your hand is on the steering wheel. And so your hand is cooking on the steering wheel. And so I'm doing an experiment now with a little thing I cooked up, cannabis oil. So basically, I just regularly consume this, but anyhow, it's a few grams of cannabis oil at a predetermined strength, and basically we extract some olive oil, and this olive oil I'm basically rubbing into the areas where I have sun damage. So you want to get this magical plant's properties into the areas on yourself where you suspect there is some kind of lesion or damage or anything that's prone to getting cancer. Some like rubbing in some cannabis oil, and I'll share with you in the link how you can make some of that. And yeah, I'm gonna just have a little bit of an experiment here just to see how it will go. I don't want to get make some promises to a person who's in the late stages of cancer that they're going to have a miracle cure if they, but there are some people that have reversed cancers at early stages using cannabis, and it's worth pursuing, looking into doing a lot of research on it. So I'm going to keep a video journal here to show you guys how this is going to go, but my faith is very high. I think cannabis is it's a natural medicine at a very high level for mammals, and it's explicitly for mammals. And so it has the greatest potential to fix all of our mammalian diseases of any kind of medicine that exists anywhere. They can't come up with this in the pharmaceutical lab. This is millions of years of evolution of like the plant doing biological processes in order to come up with the best puzzle piece that it's going to bring the mammal back to the plant again and again for its dose of cannabinoids that's going to fix all of its problems. And so basically, the mammals that consume cannabis are the ones that end up without the diseases. So that's kind of why we're doing this experiment here. It's like I'm a little bit worried that I'm getting like lesions on my hand, that I'm getting these driver's hands, and it's pretty brutal on my right here, like on the joints. Like it's like there's these like it looks like these pads. It's like so gross. It's like like these pads are just like, oh man. But I've been so I have this but I made this cannabis oil, right? So it's like. This is the best, I think, if you have some kind of like cancer or some kind of neurological disease, or even like you can ingest this. You can ingest this as a medicine. And so like you could have a variety of problems, but this thing will go in there and basically balance out your system to the most optimal, such that your optimal alignment is in balance, so you're not subject to diseases, crippling diseases, that this thing can unlock these like commonly occurring diseases in mammals, because it's this plant chemistry that's so highly complex because of all those millions of years of evolution, following mammals around the world, attracting them, making sure that it was at the top medicine. It was like cannabis is a level 40 plant in terms of like maybe even level 50, 60 plant, level 60 plant for like health for humans. And the next best thing is cocoa at like level 6, So it's just like there's absolutely no comparison. Like cannabis is absolutely the most advanced medicine. It's just on another level. There's no comparison. I mean, for mammals at the moment that occurs in nature, there's nothing you're gonna find close where it's gonna address so many different diseases, because naturally occurring diseases that can be regulated through your endocannabinoid system. And so you want something like this, cannabis oil, something of a strength like this. to ingest or to. In my case, I'm doing this video, and anyway, guys, this is my first video, so I appreciate you watching. I'll let you know how it develops, but I think I have a really good chance of making sure that my driver's hands are resolved with this cannabis oil. It's like I got cavities, it's like getting old. It's like going to the dentist and like not brushing your teeth for like 2 years or something crazy. Whereas like before, like that didn't matter. Like I've never had a cavity before. But anyway, so I'm just massaging in this cannabis oil into the places where it looks like there could be damage, and I think that's a very effective way to deal with sort of like where you have the damage, because there's something like I don't know, I probably explained it already earlier in the video. You're like healing your body, so you're basically like when you rub cannabis oil into those cells that are maybe damaged, it's going to enhance the process. It's still going to enhance the process, the self-destruct process of that cell. So it's like despite the fact that to say, it's like the first thing the cell does once it gets healthy is realize it's unhealthy. It's like cannabis is this powerful. So it's like, it's an incredible substance that there's no parallel that occurs in nature at all. It's again, there's no comparable plant. Like we were saying, cocoa was like the next best thing for health for people that occurs in nature naturally. Maybe like 6 or something like that. Maybe that's a stretch. Maybe 5, 4, 5. I don't know. It has some good heart benefits. Okay, I guess it depends what you're trying to address. I don't know. It's cocoa's okay. If it's the thing that tips the scale in your favor for another like however long, and it's you didn't need all the cannabis, then there you go. But honestly, if you have a plethora of conditions, cannabis is the most natural way to address the vast majority of those issues. And that's the reason it was in 90% of our medicines back in the 1930s, or like 70% of our medicine back in the 1930s, before the 1930s, before they made it illegal to profit off of it. So basically the pharmaceutical industry, they wanted to make money, but they couldn't compete with cannabis, the most effective naturally occurring substance for people, because it feeds our endocannabinoid system, which is highly complex, which regulates all these other systems. So now you're nourishing this, all these other conditions, like all these like 100 conditions listed are suddenly evaporated because this thing is so highly complex. It's like it's giving that oil that's needed, and this plant is so highly intelligent. There's nothing like it that occurs in nature for mammals. So that's why this cannabis oil here is a very useful tool, and I'll share you guys the link in how to make some in the description. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna keep on going with this journal, and I'll let you know how it goes. And I think my driver's hands are going to be okay. I was worried a little bit. I'm a little bit ashamed because it looks like I have like, I don't know, I look like a freaking Dalmatian or something, but because I'm getting tan and you can see where I have this sun damage from the driver's hands. And so now I'm just like lathering. I lathered a third of this bottle into my hands like this, and it's feeling very good. It's like, I can feel it like, almost like it's stinging, and the stinging sensation feels like Listerine or something. I can feel that it's like doing it good, that it's like, it's meant to absorb this, and then it's gonna like heal those cells like that are, damaged because of the driver's hands. I don't want my hands getting irritated. Where I have driver's hands, I don't want to get it further aggravated. So I really want to keep this under control. I don't want to get some runaway cancer that goes, little skin cancer or something that just like from driver's hand or something. I bet that's happened before. I bet people have died from driver's hand. They don't take care of it, and suddenly it turns into metastasizes. I have dry tongue right now. And I'm very exhausted. Yeah. I'm a little bit groggy. Metastasizes, and I'm feeling stupid. Metastasizes. Yeah, you don't want it to metastasize. All good. I just have a very dry time. Metastasize. You don't want to metastasize. Don't be an asshole, Mark. Okay. But you're not being an asshole. I'm just explaining that, for the love of the people, you want to do good cancer research. And this, my friend, is where you start with this cannabis. And yeah, because that's gonna be the key to curing cancer if there is one. And I'm pretty sure there is a case for cannabis curing cancer. So if people took it a little more seriously, they would be curing a lot more diseases too. This includes my father. I'm trying to get him to cure his Parkinson's with cannabis. And it's like such a battle because he's like cued into the propaganda. He's watching the propaganda instead of understanding, what cannabis actually is, which is this highly complex, highly, beneficial and benevolent plant for people, for mammals in general. You can have cattle, horses eating cannabis in the fields, and those are the ones that are going to be the healthiest of the bunch. And so, yeah, it's just this wonder plant that it follows mammals around the world, improving itself, and it has this medicine that's just it there's nothing the pharmaceutical companies can come up with that can compete with cannabis. And so they wouldn't make any money unless they criminalize cannabis. So they criminalize cannabis. Now they'll sell you prescriptions, and that's just that was like how that went for a while. But, the government, they just realize it's just too crazy. And, cannabis is so beneficial. You can't have people dying because they can't get cannabis. And it's like, so now cannabis is legalized and everybody's a lot happier as a consequence. That's honestly a broken healthcare system that nobody can afford. Is you can legalize cannabis. That's your best bet. That's your second best bet. That's the cheap way to do it. You can see the states that are not only is it the most humane thing to do, but I'm telling you, the health statistics tick up in the states where they legalize cannabis, because it just deals with so many. You'll get a list of like 100 diseases. You bombard your endocannabinoid system, with cannabis, and suddenly you're taking out, like, the thing looks like the whatchamacallit, like Tetris. It's like you're taking out all these conditions, and you realize, holy shit, I just like made myself super healthy. It's just you don't even realize how beneficial the endocannabinoid system is to regulating your entire kind of functionality, or your state of being, your state of awareness. It's just super good for your health. And so, yeah, it's like it's a wonder plant. It's a wonder plant, and it's a miracle that it exists. But it's it just was really hustling. It was just like really making sure it was the most favored plant among plants for like mammals to continuously go back to in order to propagate the seed. So it was like, okay, I have all these millions of years to figure this shit out. How do I do it? Okay, I'll hack into their endocannabinoid system and provide the perfect puzzle pieces to absorb in order to like dole out to the rest of the system the best healing processes. It's just beyond belief how wonderful cannabis is, and how useful it would be to my father, as an example, to heal his Parkinson's. And yeah, so anyway, guys, I can't wait to you know speak about different things with you, and just chill, and just like listen to some Rasta music. I highly encourage you to consume a lot of cannabis and let go of your cigarettes. Really let go of the tobacco now. You'll let go of the tobacco now and steam up with cannabis and hash. Like, make the switch consciously, you know? Do it. Get rid of tobacco now. It's a poison. It's going to bring you down. Get rid of it now and bombard yourself with cannabis all the time. No more. Get rid of all that shit from even before when you were young. Like, let go of the cigarettes and cannabis, hash. Take some hash on that nicotine withdrawal. And then just like have people be at their healthiest, and like it's not about control. It's not about telling people what to do. It's telling them that you love them, that you want them to be around for years and years in order to be their healthiest version of themselves, and that a loved one in my own family lost their life prematurely. There's the world is interesting. There's so much love in the world. There's so many things to see in the world. It's like you can't set yourself up for failure. Just don't do it. It's just so bad. It's like, my grandma, she died so young. I would have, and my other grandma, she's 98. I don't want to bother her. I want her to be chill, and I have such much difficult things. The lady have a heart attack and shit. It's like, anyway, it's just like, it's not about control. It's just about saying that I love you as a friend, and I don't want you. I friends that are, that have tobacco habits. I encourage to quit their tobacco habits. And get some hash, like get a hash hookah. Just like steam up, like get the best weed, the best hash, and just like just like really relax yourself. And it's like it's something close to this. It's something like close to hash hookah, and this kind of cannabis oil is pretty much the same. So if you're on a budget, then you go for the oil. You can like, I quit nicotine when in my 20s. I was going pretty good, and I realized the way you quit is, with weed and like vaporizer. You want to go first to the vaporizer. You're no longer burning anything, so that's already a positive step, right? And then the vaporizer, it's like, yeah, you're paralyzing your lungs, but there's nothing really damaging going on it except water. You're absorbing some nicotine, which is what's damaging your lungs, but it's minor compared to the buzz you get. So it's like, I think the thing to think about is, at the end of the day, nicotine is poison on contact, and the poison on contact effect, it's bad, and it's like that's what's because the nicotine plant has no consideration for you being a mammal, whereas the cannabis plant does. So what you do is you quit your cigarettes, you quit your vaporizer just now, get a hash hookah, order pucks of hash, get the best fucking hash you can think of, put it on a hookah, put some coals on that shit, and like clean out your lungs with that. Like take deep ass breaths and do that. And then and just see if you can't just like not smoke cigarettes for just a little bit. And every time you're craving one, go get the hash hookah. And you load up the fucking hash hookah, and you have another pucks of hash hookah, and you're just like, but it's really healing you. It's like the wind, the fresh wind that comes up through you because of the cannabinoids, and it's like unlocking you from that like dependency, because it's healing you where you've been bent. Like when you're smoking a lot of cigarettes, it's bending you sort of in a way, and then when you quit, you're slowly healing back to where you were before the damage. And then, but cannabis is helping you undamage faster. Now, you don't want to stay in a state of balance. You want to do the full thing. You just want to heal all the way. You just want to hash hookah. That's all I do now. No more cigarettes. No more vaporizer. Even you're just like you're healing your lungs from like years of damage. Just like you are just like going over you're cold, you're steaming over your lungs with the healthiest fucking possible thing you can possibly steam over it with, you know. So, yeah. I just want my friends to be, you know, because life is so interesting. There's so much to see, and I would be so lonely just by myself. You know, if my friends all die from cigarettes when they're young, you know, we got to get into this. People in biology, we got to figure this shit out. This is really complex. This is really important. It's going to heal people from all their shit. And pharmaceutical industry, they should make it in cannabis cafes and all kinds of fucking like localized administration of cannabis technology and you know producing you know all kinds of cannabis you know oils and all that shit. It'll be exceptionally cheap. You can't make money off of it. It'll heal all your conditions. You know, but we could pay off the pharmaceutical industry. We'll give them the fucking space industrial complex, you know, where we have unlimited amounts of money going there because we need to protect ourselves from the asteroid coming in because the fucking military industrial complex needs to go there too. It's like, yo, we no longer need this bloated military industrial complex creating conflict in the world. We need you guys to come home. We need you guys to stop spending all that money. And then when you're here, you basically go to the space industrial complex with the same amount of money, same companies, just retooled. So everybody wins, and you know the world loves us. The contractors win. You know we have a barbecue and whatnot. So yeah, guys, listen. I don't want to be repetitive. I'm gonna bore you, you know, you know, but think about it. If I were somebody who has been smoking all my life, that would be the way that I would approach it. Maybe even get a bong, just like keep bonging cannabis, hash cannabis bong. Um, as vaporizing, you know, but if you can do, yeah, maybe vaporizing even. Vaporizing may be even your best bet is because you're just like totally coating your lungs with cannabis with THC and CBD in a mist as opposed to like irritating it and then covering it over again with the mist. So if you're that's the rule I would give somebody that's healing their lungs from long-term cigarette smoking is yes, you want to inhale, but you want to inhale like Volcano Vaporizer. Get fucking steam bags full of Volcano Vaporizer and start steaming over your lungs on a regular basis. Maybe, you know, twice in the morning, twice in the afternoon. And, you know, and you do that daily as a regimen. You go for a walk. You know, you're gonna begin to notice it's like it's gonna start to like give any kind of damage that has been built up. If there's some like, you know, something that's susceptible to a, you know, whatever, right? So I love you guys and thanks for watching Cannabis and Healing with Mark. I'll let you know how my driver's hands go.